Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the history lecture. Today, we are going to study Civics, chapter number 4, Fundamental Rights, part 1. In this chapter, we are going to study about rights. Fundamental rights means the basic rights of a human being. So, there are 6 basic fundamental rights which are given by our constitutions. From that, we are going to study 3: right to equality, right to liberty, and right against exploitation. Now open your page number 76 and observe the picture which is given on that page. The first picture is the students are standing with the placard, and what is written over there? Education is a right. That means it is a right of every child at least to take the primary education. Then the second placard, we must get the assurance of minimum wage. It is our right. It means that one who is employed should get at least minimum wages. It means that whatever work they have done, that much salary or wages should be given to the employee, and that is their right. Now the third placard, we have a right over our forest and its resources. So the people, those who are living in a village or a tribal areas, they have completely right over their heritage and habitat. So forest is their habitat. So that is their income source, and it is the resource for their livelihood. So that is why it is the right of a tribal people or the people those who are staying in a village to have rights on forest and its resources. You must have seen such placards in newspapers and elsewhere. In a rally or a march where they fight for their rights, some injustice is taking place. Sometimes a certain demand is met. So such types of rallies assure them that they fight for their rights and asserting it to be their right. Now we get rights at birth. Every newborn baby has a right to live. So when we born, that time only we get the right. So we get the right from our birth. Also, it is a duty and the responsibility of entire society and the government take efforts to ensure that baby is in the best of health and that baby should get the good nourishment. And that is why our government implemented vaccination. Few vaccinations are of free of cost like polio, so that child health is taken care. So in short, it is the responsibility of society and the government to take efforts to ensure a good health to the child. When all individuals get the protection, when we will get the protection? When there will be no injustice, no exploitations, no discrimination, then only all the individuals will be protected. And they will be able to develop their skills and qualities. Demanding one's right is insisting on creating proper atmosphere to the development of the self as well as entire society. The Indian Constitution has guaranteed equal rights to all citizens in order to create this proper atmosphere. These rights are fundamental rights. Fundamental means the basic rights. Okay, in order to create a proper atmosphere, the Indian Constitution has guaranteed equal rights to all citizens of India, whether they are poor, whether they are rich. All are equal in front of law, and all have given the equal rights. As they are included in the Constitution, they have the status of law. This is imperative for everybody to abide by this rights. So these rights are included in Constitution, and that is why they have got the status of law. And it is a duty of every citizen of India to ensure that there is no injustice taking place in society, and everyone will get or assure to this fundamental rights. Now next we are going to move to our rights as mentioned in the constitution. So our Indian constitution has given us the 6 rights, and they are basic in nature, and that is why they are known as the fundamental rights or the basic rights. No one can deny these rights to an individual. Even government cannot make any law that would deny the fundamental rights of its citizen. Thus, the fundamental rights safeguards carefully, and the Indian Constitution has provided 6 types of fundamental rights to its citizens. And which are those 6 types of fundamental rights that we are going to see? First one is right to equality. Second one is right to liberty. Liberty means freedom. And the third one is right against exploitation. Fourth one, right to freedom of religion. Fifth one, cultural and educational rights. And the sixth and the last one, right to constitutional remedies. So these are the 6 fundamental rights which our constitution has given to each and every citizen. From the 6, we are going to study 3, that is right to equality, right to liberty, and right against exploitation. Let's begin with the first right to equality. The word equality itself tells us that everyone should be treated equally in the society, though they may be belonging to different caste, class, religion, gender. All are equal, and no discrimination should be done on the basis of religion, caste, class, or gender in the society. So, according to the right to equality, the state cannot discriminate among the citizens as superior, inferior, or men, women, and cannot give different treatment or privileges to anybody. So, according to this law, what they are telling us, that the state cannot do the discriminate. They cannot differentiate between the men and women, inferior and the superior, one who is a higher and the lower. Okay, and the superior means higher and inferior means lower. Okay, and they cannot give different treatment or privileges to anybody. Okay, the same law applies equally to all. Many laws gives us protection. For example, we have protection from arrest without warrant. If you have done any kind of activities which is unethical, that if police comes to arrest you without warrant, then they cannot arrest you. So this provision government has given to us. Also, the state cannot discriminate while extending such protection. So they cannot discriminate in such protections. What other things are included in the right to equality? The state cannot discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion, caste, race, sex, descent, or place of birth or residence for government employment. Okay, so what they are telling us, the state will not do the differentiate against any citizen on the grounds of religion, caste, class, or the place of birth or the residence for the government employees. The inhuman practice of untouchability that was prevalent in our country has been abolished by law. As we all know, the practice of untouchability was going on in our country in olden days. Okay, there were 4 classes were there, and on the basis of that, the discrimination was going on in our society. But nowadays, inhuman practice of untouchability abolished by law. The practice of untouchability in any form is cognizable offense. So if you are practicing this untouchability, then it is a offense and you will be punished. This practice has been abolished in order to establish equality in Indian society. Why this practice was abolished? To bring equality in Indian society, and that is why this practice was abolished. And if anyone is doing this practice of untouchability, then that person will be punished. Okay, so in short, we all are human beings and we should not discriminate on the basis of any type of caste or a class. And this practice they abolish for the equality of Indian society. So all are equal. No one is belonging to the lower class, no one is belonging to the higher class. all are equal in front of the law. The Constitution has also abolished title that creates an artificial hierarchy among the people. For example, in olden days, uh, people they used to get the titles like Raja, Maharaja, Rao Bahadur. Such titles the people used to get, and those titles creates an artificial hierarchy among the people, and because of that, the Constitution also abolish such titles. For example, titles like Raja, Maharaja, Rai Bahadur, etc. have been abolished. Now, the next right is a right to liberty. Liberty means freedom. Now, this is also very important right. Our Indian Constitution has been given or guaranteed to us. That is right to liberty, means freedom. Here, every individual is free to express his own ideas, views, or point of views as per the consideration. So, this is very important right given by our Constitution. It gives a guarantee to all the freedom necessary from the point of view of individual. As Indian citizens, we have the right to freedom of speech and expressions. So we are free to speak and express our own opinion. The next, we are freedom to assemble peacefully. So we can assemble peacefully for any purpose. We are freedom to form associations or unions as per requirement. Then we are free to move freely throughout the territory of India. So we are free. We can move any part of India. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. So as citizen of India, we are having this right to migrate anywhere, any part of India or any state of India, and we can stay over there, we can settle over there, or we can reside over there. There is no restriction. Then we are free to practice any lawful profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business of one's choice. Means our Constitution has guaranteed that we are free to choose any kind of professions or to carry on any occupations, trade, or business of one's own choice. So it is not like that, like if you are belonging to this particular religion, then you are going to do this particular business only. So it is not like that. We are free. Our Constitution has given us freedom that you can choose any occupation or business according to your choice. Now next one is the right to liberty in Constitution has guaranteed us the freedom of speech and movement, and it has also provided us security to keep us safe. So as the Constitution has given us this freedom of speech and movement, means we can move to anywhere, okay, so they are also providing us security to keep us safe. This legal protection has been given to everybody equally. So this legal protection is given to men also, women also, people belonging to the different religion also, people belonging to the different caste and class also. So everyone is given equal protection by law. It is not denied to everybody. For example, we all have a right to life. It appears to be simple, but it has a deep significance. It implies getting a guarantee to live, availability of conducive environment for living. Nobody can take away another's life. No person can be arrested and detained without any reason. It means that everybody having a right to life. Everybody can live as per their choice. No one is having a right to harm anyone. We are having full right to live. Nobody can harm us and destroy our life. And no person can be arrested or detained without any reason. So, in short, this is a right is given by our constitutions to everyone. Next, the right to liberty now also includes the right to education. The individual who is living in society are having a right to take education as per their choice. So that is the compulsion provided by a government mentioned in the constitution, article number 14, which we have in our constitution, that tells us that each and every child between the age of 6 and 14 years, they should be entitled to get the education as a fundamental right. So they should get primary education, and that is given in a article number 14 in a constitution. It is a compulsion that no child should be involved in any kind of activity like employing or working in any factories. If they found, then they will be punished. So this article 14 ensure that every child should get education and no child should be deprived of education. And because of this right which is given by a constitution, because of this right, every child will get the education. So the right to liberty now also includes the right to education. All children between the 6 and 14 years of age are entitled to get education as a fundamental right, and this ensure that no child will be deprived of education. Now the next right is right against exploitation. Now the word exploitation tells us that the person is being harassed in a society, or he or she is not getting equal status as compared to the others. So the right against exploitation implies the right to prevent the exploitation. While the constitution has banned all types of operations through the right against exploitation, it has made a special provision to prevent the exploitation of children. That means a child labor. So this is wrong. It is an illegal activity, and a person who is forcing a child to work, then it's a legal crime. Accordingly, it is prohibited to employ children under 14 years of age, because that is the age to take the primary education. And that article has been already implemented by the government, that the children cannot be employed or made to work in factories and mines. We have seen on television that how the children are employed to work in factories, preparing crackers or working in mines, where their life is completely comes in danger. Exploitation includes bounded labors. Bounded means their work is fixed or they cannot change their work because of some money problem. Okay, and forcing somebody to work against his or her wish, treating somebody like a slave. Any work is not big one or a small one. All the work should be treated equally. But many times what happens? There are many people, those are forcing or those are making someone work like a slave. Denying them legitimate expensations means a person is working but he or she is not paid as per their work done. Sometimes they are making them to do excessive or extra work, but the wages or the salary and the money are not given for them for their extra work. Starving them or ill treating them, especially women, children, the weaker section of society, and the powerless people are exploited. We are watching on television many cases that women are being exploited, children are being exploited, even the weaker section of the society is being exploited. So we have seen many cases where the weaker section of the society has been exploited. So this right enables us to stand up against any kind of exploitation. So this right helps us to stand up, to take a stand against the exploitation which is happening to us, and we can get the freedom. So this is a provision which is done by our government by giving us the right against the exploitation. So if any harassment is happening or any exploitation is happening, so we can ask for justice. So in this chapter, we studied the rights to liberty, that is freedom and equality, and the right against exploitation. In the next chapter, we shall study some more fundamental rights in the Constitution. As I told you, there are 6 fundamental rights. So in this chapter, we have studied only 3 fundamental rights. Now in the next chapter, we will study the next 3 fundamental rights. Thank you. Now I want everyone to open your history textbook page number 76 and start reading your lesson.